be live here for a little bit. Do maybe a 30-minute live, and then I got to go back to work and do some content. But I do enjoy doing these because I do get some inspiration, some motivation of what maybe I should do content on.
Did you make your YouTube video?
I have not done my YouTube videos yet. I have to do some YouTube videos, and I got to do some shorts. That's it. I don't have to do a ton, thankfully. But I hope everyone has a good day. Hope everyone's staying sober and everyone's enjoying themselves, because that's what it's about. And I do enjoy doing lives. I enjoy YouTube lives actually a lot more. I used to do a ton of them, and I got away from it. And I don't know why I did. But what up, Donnie? How are you? But I will say this: like I kind of started to miss them, and then I started doing them again. I realized how much fun these actually can be. Plus, you have, I think, a little bit more freedom of speech here than what you do on some of the other social media platforms. And especially, I think, when you're talking about like addiction, you're talking about withdrawals and talking about mental health and stuff like that. It's nice to be able to share the real and the raw, instead of having to be like, okay, what can I say and what can I not say, and to be able to just kind of be honest with what it's like. It's random, but you saved your life, Skip, and anytime anyone says that, like maybe I said something that like set something off, and you're like, dude, like I need to get sober, I need to go get help. Like awesome, like that's what it's about. Like I know what it's like to like look out there for just something to help you. Just know that it's okay. It makes a difference. I hate weed. I get asked a lot about weed, and weed just messes me up, man. It adds to my anxiety. Some people like it, some people it helps them with their anxiety. Yeah, I tried indica, I tried sativa, you have all the different waxes, and they do none of it. I've been struggling, but your videos help you. Well, I'm glad they help you. Just watch my videos. Am I still on coke? No. But I do get a little worked up for my videos. It's amazing. The more worked up and the interesting and fascinating like that I can make my videos, I can get my message across, and it actually hits the audience that I want it to hit. Thanks, Brad. You are too good. Show my hairline now. My hairline's gone, man. Don't stimulants can increase your anxiety. It depends. Not all stimulants can increase your anxiety though. And it depends too. Are you autistic? Or you have ADHD? Like what is it? THC, high addictive. You have a nice day too. Any recommendations for going through alcohol withdrawal alone? I would definitely go to AA and NA. I would get with a doctor, even a psychiatrist. Like find out why you're using. Why are you drinking? What are you self-medicating for? What's are those driving points that get you to the thing where you start drinking again? That's what I would really suggest, because like I know what it's like when I got sober, my ex-wife wasn't part of my sobriety at all, and I had to build my own support team. It is all Gouda. Weed is good for recovering alcohol. I'm not gonna diss it if it helps somebody. I know a lot of people out there are Cali sober or whatever you want to call it, and all I can say is if you're not destroying your life, you're not destroying your life, and that's all it is. How do you help a friend, an alcoholic friend? Do they want to be sober? I mean, that's the biggest thing, is if they want to be sober, it's just supporting them. But to get them sober, you're never going to get them sober. You watch your videos all the time, unfortunately, relapse. It's okay. Relapse, don't beat yourself up over it. I think too many people beat themselves up over like relapse and like, oh, I relapsed and I got to throw away all my coins and I got to throw away all my keychains and stuff. Like, why, dude? Like, you know how to get sober, go back at it. That's what it's all about. I'm never a big opiate fan. No. I realize. I take medication now. I take stuff for my ADHD, but that's it. I used to take Xanax for a little while for panic attacks too. You're welcome. What about weed? What about weed? What does the hat mean? Be the storm, be the best that you can be, man. Take it on. It helped you understand yourself more. Good. That's why I like to share it, is that it does help you understand yourself more. It helps you learn a little bit more. It helps you understand the ADHD effects a little bit more. All of that stuff. Choose. I would choose neither of them. Alcohol is not actually, or Adderall isn't the same as speed. Speed and Adderall are very different. One passes the brain-blood barrier, one does not pass through the brain-blood barrier. How one burns the dopamine receptors versus not burning the dopamine receptors. But I will say this, there is a stigma around ADHD meds, and do I think that, you know what, I will say this. I'm sober, and I don't do coke and alcohol when I'm on my meds. And then I live actually a very productive life, so... you've done both. Good at Mac G's and need the shirt. I don't know if he makes it. There's a company out there. He called himself. He went by antidepressant duds, and I don't know if he makes the shirts anymore or not. Hours 300. You can be a mess, but you can pull it all back together too. That's a nice thing about it. I've taken Oxy before, but I never abused Oxy. It wasn't ever my, opiates were never my drug of choice. I mean, that's the thing that's hard for people, I think, sometimes to comprehend, is like a drug of choice. A drug of choice is like very, very weird obsession with us. And there are polyaddicts out there who are addicted to multiple substances, but you also got people out there that are just addicted to this one substance for whatever reason. It's like this weird obsession about it. Why am I live today? Because I can be. I wanted to be.
Because it's his
You
love.
can't crush them. Somebody who's suicidal, don't know what to do. If you know somebody who's suicidal, one of the biggest things I say is this, get them to reach out for help. You know what I mean? Sit and listen, talk to them. I do save the lives. I keep them out. Shrooms and weed, feel that. I've snorted it too. It was one of the scariest substances, dude. I didn't like it. Only time that ever happened to was when I was told that it was other substances. Just passing through, fair enough. Suicide always a bad. What do you think? I think suicide is always bad. I mean, that's my personal opinion on it. I have a wife and a father I lost to suicide. I think it's a very chicken shit way out. And this is coming from somebody this is coming from somebody who has attempted to take his life too. So, and I know when I did, I was very self-absorbed, self-centered. Didn't care about anyone else but myself. I allowed my depression to mask over everything, to make a reality. It wasn't actually a reality. If you reach out for help, you can't find it. You can. I will say this: if you reach out for help and you can't find it, if you really truly want help, go tell 10 strangers on the street that don't know you. Tell 10 strangers on the street that don't know you that you need help, that you're suicidal. I guarantee you're going to get help. That's the difference, is like, how bad do you want the help? Or are you like dropping these little subtle hints and no one's picking up on your hints? Hey, Savannah. Thank you. I appreciate that. Adderall, going in my city, or press. 2 cents. Telling someone to ask for help doesn't work. Someone has to intervene, so should encourage them. I don't think help is rough. I think help is rough only because we make it rough, because we set ourselves up for failure. That's one of the biggest things, I think, is because we're going to people who we want maybe the help from, that we're not going to get it from them. We're not going to directly ask them for help. We're going to ask in usually roundabout ways. But man, I tell you what, dude, you go up to a stranger that you don't know and say, I'm going to go kill myself. I bought a knife and I'm going to go kill myself. I guarantee that stranger is going to do more to help you than anybody else will. But you got to be prepared for the help, and you have to also want the help too. Can you do shorts on anxiety tics? I can. And Caleb, and that's just my opinion when it comes to it. Most depressed people don't search for help, especially men. They don't. We don't. We say we do, but we don't. It's a possibility by multivitamin. You can repair some of your brain receptors will even themselves out. It just depends on what brain receptors. I got social worker has been helping you. Good. I'm glad that you got a social worker. That's huge. What if a stranger says they don't care and leaves? Ask 10 people. Don't give up with just one. Why would you give up with just one? Because you have to play also the law of averages. Videos. Oh, I'm glad that they've helped you. Hello. What up for Manchester? You got to, Amanda. You got to make it all bad. I never asked for help. Oh, man, no one gives a shit. They do, Donnie. Believe me. They do. It's just us being bitches. We as men are. Fucking bitches, dude. Poor me. I know. I've been there. I've called myself out, too, of how I used to be. You have to actually want it, man. You have to fight for it. You're welcome. Hi from Iceland. We were just in Iceland. Love Iceland. Hello from Brazil. Watch your videos where you explain signs of personal depression. It's super helpful. I'm glad they're helpful, moms. I'm glad they are. If you don't like, why don't you like therapy? Maybe you haven't found the right therapist. Find the right therapist, man. Trial and error. I've had bad therapists and good therapists. You have to be honest with them, and you have to be open with them, though. I've been to a psychiatrist, and I've been to psychologists. I still have a psychiatrist and psychologist. Thank you, Richard. I appreciate that. No, have no desire to smoke weed. Sex drive and depression. You know, your sex drive with depression drops tremendously. No, but I don't struggle with bad thoughts anymore. I love my life too much. Exactly, double. You got to be nice to yourself. There's nothing wrong with being on Suboxone for opiate withdrawal. Eventually, when you get off the Suboxone, you're going to want to get some magnesium in your system, and you're going to want to get some more in your system. Like you're going to go through it a little bit. The difference between a psychiatrist and a therapist. A therapist will typically, like a psychologist, will give you coping tools, will give you accountability, all of that, where a psychiatrist isn't going to dive into much of your mental health. It's going to be more just on the prescription side of things. How to fill the emptiness? I would say fill the emptiness by goals. I mean, that's what I did. I don't really have emptiness. Here, 3 days ago, took 70 Adderall. Yeah, you probably got a little bit of give it about another day or two there, Blaine. 3 days, yeah. Give it about 5 days, or you go talk to your doctor about it. Thoughts on sex addiction? I think some people are obsessed with it. Said this 3 times, but don't know what it is, Caleb. Yeah, you'd have to repeat it, bro. Feel alone when I have tons of friends and family. Probably just struggling a little bit with depression.
You're talking so quiet.
Oh, from the day, because it's weird. I can't blow up the comments. I wish I could. Did decide to quit. Actually, did it. The day I decided to quit, I quit. I was like, "Fuck this, dude. Fuck this." I didn't think I was gonna quit for good either. Like the day that I quit, I was like, I'm gonna fucking quit for just a little bit. I was like, fuck, I'll quit. I'll put my life back together right now because like I knew when I got sober, anytime that I did, I could get my life back together for just like a little bit. I was like, fuck this, dude. I'll do this, and it ended up being a whole thing that I stayed sober. But I will say that like the day that I wanted it was the day that I did it. Back at you. I appreciate that, Dean. It's hard, I think, at first to deal with, but after a while, it's less and less. Once you come to terms and once you heal, I think that's the hardest thing. I think that the healing is the hardest thing. Thoughts on gabapentin can help you sleep. But like at first, like you're very victimized and stuff by it. I don't think a lot of us know how to heal from trauma. I don't think a lot of us know how to heal through a lot of that stuff. And that's why I think it's important to get with like a therapist and get with a doctor and walk through with them. How do I actually let this shit go? Because it's hard, man. And then you start realizing that you have more and more fucking like trauma and shit that you haven't worked on. How do you deal with loss of someone you didn't know was struggling until it was too late? Why are you going to beat yourself up over it? Sucks. You're going to have to grieve it. But there's nothing you can do, man. All you can do is all you can do. Like, what are you going to, you're not Superman. Like, if they don't ask for help, there's not much you can do. How did my wife kill herself? She put a bag over her head and suffocated herself, if you want to know the truth. 3 times. Literally a bag over her head. Just like that. Vomited up in the bag, too. Died. That's how. If you want to go, you want to go. You'll find a way to go, unfortunately. Do you feel anything could trigger me to relapse? No. Dude, I will protect my sobriety with everything that I got. Everything that I got. Hey, Treasure, you're welcome, Jacqueline. What's up? I struggled with depression, got diagnosed third. I gave it to mom and teachers. A lot of the stuff that I do is for 18 and over. Actually, all of it is for just 18 and over. Any tips of alcohol drink? If you're drinking that much, John, just so that you don't go through the real bad withdrawals, my suggestion is to get with your doctor. Alcohol withdrawal can be deadly. Benzos like Xanax and stuff can have deadly withdrawals too. There's only 2 that are deadly withdrawals, and that's Xanax and that's or benzos, excuse me, not Xanax. There's multiple benzos or alcohol. They affect your central nervous system, so you just flatline and die out. So get with your doctor. I mean, if you're getting the shakes and stuff like that when you're withdrawing, like you need to make sure you're going to withdraw safely. I don't drink at all, no. What do I think about Xanax? There are a lot of benefits actually to Xanax. Yes, tremendous benefits. But you got to be doing it with your doctor. You got to know what you're also getting on. Xanax wasn't designed as a anxiety med to constantly be taken for more than a short period of time. That's all it was. When I was prescribed Xanax, I was on Xanax just for a brief period of time after my dad committed suicide. And so it helped with not relapsing, it helped with panic attacks, it helped with a lot. So you're going to be on it just for a short period of time. If you stay on it longer than that, you're going to build an addiction to it. If you're suicidal, to ask everybody for help. You're almost 6 years sober. Awesome. Way to go. Your benzo withdrawals. Benzo withdrawals are nasty, man. Yeah. And a lot of times you'll go into seizures and a lot more than that, too. How do I manage my anxiety? Any medication? I would say this. I mean, there's things out there that you can do to manage your anxiety. There's a lot of natural supplements and stuff that you can take to manage your anxiety. And it's also finding out what your anxiety is. I mean, we all have like intrusive thoughts. A lot of us have stuff like that, but it's what your natural coping is. Been using Xanax every day for a week. I'm worried I get dependent. You're probably not going to get dependent on it, but I will say this: if you keep taking it every single day for a couple months, you're going to be dependent on it. Oh, thank you, Squiddy. It's very comfortable that you're putting the word to protect your. Oh, you have to put the work in to protect it, because no one else is going to protect your sobriety but you. No idea. Well, you've helped yourself, man. That's the thing. Is like I share videos and stuff. Maybe that hopefully it like hits somebody somewhere and they go, God, I relate to this. Like I can change, or I want to get better, or I want to change my life, whatever it might be. Like that's my whole goal when I do videos, is that it hits somebody out there that's struggling and maybe makes you wake up, because you're ultimately the one that's going to get sober. You're the one that's going to get the help. That's all it is. And that's what it's about though, is finding that little nugget that makes you stop and go, you know what, screw it. I'm going to do something different today. We all go crazy a little bit. Taking ashwagandha does help a little bit. Also, what helps too is magnesium. I did a live on TikTok and people were like, dude, you're like a magnesium dealer. I am a magnesium dealer. I have Banff magnesium. Go to airbzink.com, buy the magnesium. But magnesium helps you actually with anxiety and depression. It helps regulate nitric oxide in your blood. It also helps your cortisol levels regulate out. So there's a lot to it. Advice would you give to be able to voice your thoughts, write down in a journal? You're welcome, Skip. Been using Xanax for about 2 years straight now. You're probably going to go, you're going to go through some bad withdrawals, Squiddy. My suggestion is getting with your doctor. You're probably going to do a taper process with them. You can taper off of it. You don't have to be on it. Work on your ability to accept your thoughts. Would you want someone to say if you called the suicide hotline? I have no idea because I want to call it now. Like to put myself in that situation. I'm in a way different part of life. I would say this: if I was struggling, I'm going to go to my wife and I'm going to go to family and ask them for help. Tell them where I'm really at and be very blunt. Brain surgery, no. Feel free, Chris. You have magnesium citrate. Yeah, magnesium's huge, dude. Taking magnesium, taking lion's mane helps. There's a lot of different things out there. Like being healthy and actually taking your vitamins makes a huge difference. Also, especially if you're ADHD, because your ADHD, a lot of like Vyvanse, Adderall, stuff like that, will force that actually out of your system. Dude, taking kratom, having, I hate kratom, man. Kratom was scary for me. Kratom withdrawals were real, dude. That sucked. Once before, true. I'd go with your doctor. I wouldn't know. Thank you, Road. I appreciate that. My Yeah. Now, when you get off some Suboxone, you're going to go through some pain. It's going to be a little rough getting off the Suboxone. Yeah, I actually did. Can you expand vitamin deficiencies with Adderall? Yeah. So Adderall and Vyvanse, especially, amphetamine salts, will actually excrete it back out of your system when it comes to magnesium. So that's why with Adderall and Vyvanse, you have the Adderall nap or the Vyvanse nap, where you take your meds and you can actually sleep. When the meds get out of your system, you hit that Adderall crash per se or whatever it might be. All of a sudden at night you have trouble sleeping. It's because your brain's not producing the natural melatonin that it once was. And so taking magnesium, you need to get it back into your system. The other thing too is when it comes to taking your Adderall and Vyvanse and stuff, don't take citric acid. Citric acid actually really screws it up. It's not going to be very effective. If you do take zinc with it, it actually makes it a little bit more effective and makes it last a little bit longer. And then when it comes to Tums can do the same thing. Hyperventilating. You might be taking too much, Alejandro. Watch out how much you're taking for the Vyvanse. I mean, to give you an idea, I take Adderall and I'm on 20 milligrams a day. I take 10 milligrams in the morning and 10 milligrams in the afternoon. The lowest dose of Adderall and even Vyvanse and stuff that you can take is like 5 milligrams. Any less than that actually has a reverse effect, very dangerous effect. And it does happen with a lot of stimulants, Morgan. A lot of stimulants out there actually, one of the things it does is it excretes it all out of your body. Coming off subs 4 years was rough, taper down. Yeah, no, it's coming off of subs is going to be brutal regardless. That's why I put together, so the one thing that always drove me nuts is when people would be like, what do I do to help me through these withdrawals? So I actually created a recovery line, and that's the biggest thing is when you're getting off the stuff is that you're taking the magnesium. If you go to ericbzink.com, wellness and recovery, there's magnesium there. But magnesium helps you even when you're coming off of Suboxones because this numbs and doesn't let the NMDA pain receptors get very excited. And those are pain receptors. That's one of the things that it does. So magnesium actually helps you with pain. The other thing is that it forces water into your intestines so you're able to go to the bathroom. So you're not going into that constipation. It also helps your brain create naturally melatonin, regulates your central nervous system. Also, it regulates the nitric oxide in your blood, and it also levels off your cortisol level so you're not in the fight or flight mode. You're welcome, Brooke. I'm taking 2 days, no Vyvanse, so subsidizing my body so I don't get that shortness of breath. Okay. I'd get with your doctor. What types of reverse effects would you have to take? It actually messes with your dopamine, Melissa. That's why, like with your meds, like you got to be careful because there are reverse effects that can happen whenever you're playing around with neurotransmitters. What up? You can buy it from whoever you want. I donate a portion of mine to suicide awareness, and I do work for a company for free with it that does the Hey app. So that's why I do mine. Uh, Eric, why you recommend someone who has problem voicing what they think write in a journal? Adderall can be addictive. It can be for the right people. Um, yeah, any of them is good. Do the hyper cocaine speech? No, no. I only do those for videos. Um, yeah, there's so much out there that's addictive. That's why I'll say this. I abused a lot of substances out there when I wasn't on my meds. I looked for a lot of self medication. I did a lot of dopamine searching. A lot of people who are ADHD and autism struggle with addiction because especially ADHD, your brain's constantly on a dopamine search. Dopamine works on an ADHD person's brain kind of like glasses does for somebody who can't see very well. It allows us to focus in. So your brain's going to find dopamine one way or another. That's why people with ADHD sometimes struggle with binge eating. Binge eating actually calms us. Food calms us and can produce dopamine naturally. So there's a lot out there. So if I'm going to do it and I can do it on my terms and regulate it the way it needs to be regulated and be have the most productive day possible, I'm going to. Did you take Adderall? No, no. Adderall with alcohol you can do, but the one thing that people don't realize though is if you're taking Adderall and you're drinking, it does have a lesser, like you don't feel the alcohol effects right away. The power of Adderall, that strength of what it does to your neurotransmitters is stronger than what the alcohol is. So the alcohol is going to hit you out of the blue. I appreciate what you're doing. Currently having trouble finding the right meds. Yeah, no, it is. It's hard. It's a lot of it is trial and error. I tried the kratom route to actually help with the SSRI because I was kind of the same way, and man, it jacked me up. You're on kratom. I know people that are, but just for me, I did white kratom, red kratom, and green kratom. I have the videos up here on YouTube. They're old now, but man, that jacked me up, man. The withdrawals on it. hmm I don't blame you because if you're not taking the kratom, all of a sudden you're going through the withdrawals. Like it doesn't make any sense. Like I like not being addicted to anything or not being that dependent on anything. Um, it can get better, princess. Absolutely. To Adderall to prevent the crush, Rebecca. Got I'm a magnesium dealer. Get magnesium. Take magnesium, or even I do work with a company, Ashwanda helps. Utopia. That's going to actually help with the Adderall crash too. There are things out there you have to start counteracting it when that Adderall crash hits, because what essentially is happening is your whole body is dropping. Is if you can get your cortisol levels keep leveled out, you'll have a way less crash. I'll tell you this: like on 10 milligrams, I have a little bit of a crash, but like nothing very noticeable. Hi, Hillary. Very depressed. Are you going to NA&A? Definitely go to those. Definitely get some support. That's where it all starts at. My thoughts on taking NAD while taking Adderall. What's NAD? No, I never tried crack. Crack was a waste of coke. If you want to know the truth, that's the whole reason I never tried crack. It was a waste. Like I was obsessed with the process. I was obsessed with the lines. I was obsessed with all of it. Like that whole process was part of my addiction. If an NA and diagnosed with ADHD is taking prescribed medication, for some people it is. I never really gave a shit. Majority of people I found in there were like, holy cow. They're all on something to help them. And I think a lot of people do use just because you self-medicate. Like, let's face it, like a lot of people do self-medicate. Advice for your depression, finding the right therapist. Yeah, there's a lot of groups out there. And there's a lot of support out there. It's finding it. It's not easy. It's not given to us, unfortunately. That's the hard part about it is eventually finding these groups. You're welcome, Hillary. This is our antidepressant. I can't feel MDMA. MDMA is your serotonin receptors, and you probably can't Um, you saved your own life. Does magnesium dull the effects of Adderall? No, actually it doesn't. What will dull the effects of Adderall, there's one thing that will actually dull effects of Adderall, and that's citric acid will dull the effects. Oh, and in NDMA, your brain receptor? I never took any drugs or smoking, drinking, just cope with life. You can be a lot stronger minded. Just surround yourself with the right people, man. Set some goals and just start digging in on your life. I mean, that's a lot of what it is. Life for everybody's different. It's a journey, man. Live it out. What about methadone? If it helps somebody get off of heroin, cool. What contains citric acid? There's a lot. Citric acid is a ton of stuff. Grapefruit will really screw it up bad. Yeah, no, exactly. It was. It was fun at first, and then all of a sudden it wasn't fun anymore. Then you find yourself in a motel, fucking sobbing your eyes out, wishing that it would get better, wishing that you could get clean and stuff, and you just can't. You're wondering why this is your life all of a sudden. It's fucking horrible, dude. Wishing that a lightning bolt or like some divine intervention would like come down and like strike lightning or something, and that you'd get sober and clean. Way to go on the year, dude. Congratulations, Hector. Love it. Thank you, Nicole. I appreciate that. What's the best way to take ashwagandha with no ADHD meds? To just to take it. I mean, there's no good way or bad way per se to take some of these stuff. Like, take it, if that makes sense. Um, Not really. I'm not a weed fan, man. That stuff always messed me up. 1 month clean, congratulations. It is hard. What are you getting sober from? I would say this, support's huge. Not being bored is a big one, man. Find stuff that you really enjoy doing, and that takes a process. Like, go for walks, go to the gym. Find fun outside, man. Get yourself outside of the four walls. Um, that's one of the big things, but also, getting with a therapist, getting the right meds. There's a lot. I'm probably going to do more of these lives on a weekly basis for a while. I'm actually going to jump off of this because I need to get to work because I have to make some content still, and it's almost 4 here. And dinner, all that stuff. So I'm going to jump off of this, but I will be back probably tomorrow. I'll do a little live for a little bit longer. I actually stayed on TikTok live a lot longer than I thought I would be. So I appreciate anyone who jumps into these. I do save them if you want to rewatch it or check out any of the other videos. And I hope that you guys have a good rest of the day.